Darwin waterfront, it's a fantastic place to come down. There's restaurants, cafes, they also hold events down here. And behind me is the Laguna. I've seen a few people do their morning laps. It's really relaxing down here, and I thought it was a fantastic spot for me to cook up barramundi. And I'm going to do sort of a crispy style barramundi salad using some fantastic fresh local herbs. The herbs here are outstanding. A lot of Asian herbs. I've got some Thai basil, mint and coriander. Now for my barramundi, so it gets super crispy, I'm going to cut it into cubes so we get crunch on all sides, and I'm going to coat it in some corn flour. I've been preheating some oil, so just some vegetable oil. You want it to get quite hot because it does cook quickly. And use a sharp knife when you're doing this so you can get through the tough barramundi skin. And when you're cutting the barramundi or any type of fish, you can see that I'm doing long strokes. So once I've got 3 long battens, we'll cut them evenly into about 3 centimetre cubes. This is a really rustic, chunky style salad, and it's the perfect salad to do when it's 30 degrees. It's so hot today, so this is all you want. You don't want anything too heavy. Now, the best way to coat the barramundi in the corn flour is to use a Ziploc bag. It just makes sure that we get a nice even coating as opposed to clumps of the flour. So just cup that in your hand, and then I'll add just a few generous tablespoons of the corn flour. I like to use corn flour as opposed to just plain flour because we'll get a nice thin coating as opposed to a thick, almost gluggy coating. I don't want it to be a batter of any sort, almost just want to accentuate the crispiness of the skin. So once that's in there, we'll pop our barramundi cubes in. So we'll just close that and then we'll give it a good shake. Just coating it all over. I may have filled the bag up just a little too much, but it'll still work, I promise. Okay, that is coated. Let's have a look. Nice. See, just a thin layer of that corn flour. Okay, we're gonna wait for that oil to heat up before we add the fish. It needs to be really hot, around that 160 to 180 degrees, so we get crisp skin. You don't want it to go soggy. Now I'm gonna turn my board over and just wipe my knife. And now we can get onto the sauce. It's like a nyok mam, a very simple nyok mam. I'm going to cut this long red chilli in half. And if you want to have a really big kick, you could also use the small chilies, which are a little fiery. I'm just going to use these long ones because they're a medium style heat. I'm leaving the seeds in. Then we'll just gather that together and then finally chop it. Now, to get a nyok mam perfect, you need a great balance of saltiness, acidity, which I'll get from the limes, and sweetness from sugar. That's the main ingredients in it. As long as you can taste that zinginess, then it's going to be fantastic for this salad. Okay, so chili can go into the bowl, and a generous amount of fish sauce. We want about 3 or 4 tablespoons. And then some sugar, again, same amount, 3 or 4 tablespoons. And then give that a whisk because you want to start dissolving that caster sugar in there. And then to thin this out, some cold water, bit of ice in there. And now for the acid component, we want the juice of the lime, but I also want the zest. So we'll zest that directly in there. And then the juice, we'll cut that in half. And then I'll grab my spoon and just get all of that juice out. If some of the pulp goes in, that's completely fine. Second one. Perfect. And now a little stir and a taste. Oh, I love nyok mam. That is perfect. Okay, that can go to the side, and let's prepare our veggies. So in a large bowl, all of those gorgeous fresh herbs that I was talking about before, I've just put them in some iced water. This is always a good idea, particularly in summer, just to make sure that they stay super crisp and perky as opposed to wilting away. Then just drain them off. They smell so good, particularly that Thai basil. Some tomatoes, some cherry tomatoes. I'll leave some whole, cut some in half. Look at them bursting with sweetness. Gorgeous tomatoes. In they go, a few more. Now for some cucumber, crunchy cucumber. This is a Telegraph cucumber. I'm leaving the skin on because it's got a nice flavour. Straight down the centre. And with a spoon, I'll just take out the seeds. They're a little watery, so I don't want them in my salad. And then I'm going to cut them very finely on an angle. Perfect, in it goes. Now, we're in the Northern Territory, so it's only appropriate to use some mango. Mangoes up here are outstanding. I'm going to add them, not too much, but I do like that sweet and salty flavour in my salads. I'm just going to cut them into battens. I'm using 2 cheeks. We'll add them. Another great ingredient up here is the good old avocado. They grow so well in this warm weather. I'm going to cut it in half. Look how gorgeous that is. And I'm going to just scoop out that perfectly ripe flesh, turn it upside down, and then we're just slicing it so everything is roughly the same size. Okay, salad base is done. This oil is nice and hot now, so we can start frying our fish. Because they are quite large cubes and quite thick, they're going to take about 3 to 4 minutes. Essentially, we're looking for that golden crispy colour on the fish. Then I'll drain it on some paper toweling. Okay, this barramundi's been cooking for a few minutes on each side. Look how crispy this skin is. It's like the ultimate fish crackling. I love it. Now we need to drain it, so I've just got some paper toweling here, and we'll just place the pieces of fish on the paper. Oh, I love how crispy it is. Perfect. And I like to salt this fish afterwards while it's still hot though. So a bit of sea salt over the top. Not too much because we've got the saltiness from the fish sauce. And now to assemble the salad, I'll add a generous amount of this nyok mum to our colourful mango avocado salad. And I'm just restraining myself when I add the dressing because I want to taste it to see if there's enough. Always best to mix a little in, have a taste, and then mix some more in as opposed to flooding it with the sauce because then we won't taste all of the other ingredients. So I'll just grab a little tomato from in there. I can afford to add a bit more of that sauce. Yum. Nyok mum is fantastic. And then now to plate up, I've got a nice big bowl here. I'll grab some tongs. I'll add a nice mound of the salad. Look at those colours. And now I'll add some of the fish. Just pop it on top and around, pile it up on top. And then for some extra crunch, just some raw peanuts. I'll just cut them roughly with a knife, skin and all, and I'll just sprinkle that over the top. And just because I love this nyok mum, we just want to flavour that fish too. A little drizzle. That right there, my friends, is the taste of Darwin. Bright colours, some tropical fresh flavours there with the mango, avocado and herbs. I'm going to dig in and have a taste. That is full of vibrant flavours, a magical salad, easy to be replicated at home.